All right, YouTube, what's up? I'm back home. All right, trying to catch up on everything that's been going on. I did a post-fight video for Mayweather and Pacquiao right after the fight, but I didn't upload it because the video was too long. I was staying at the casino. You know how the Wi-Fi is a little funny up there, so I just held the video and I uploaded it earlier. So that video is up now. It's called 48-0, and if you want to see my review on the fight, check that out. I spoke on the fight, but I spoke on a lot of other things that were leading up to the fight. I just spoke on the fight in general. So the last couple of days, we've heard all this news about Pacquiao's injuries, Floyd relinquishing his titles, possible rematch in 2016. Who's Floyd gonna fight next? All this stuff has come out, and I'm going to try to speak on some of those things in this video. Now, let's start off with the Pacquiao injury, okay? I was going to do a video on that, but I didn't want to shed light on it because I just think that's part of the problem with boxing today and media. They're shedding light too much on nonsense. I do think it's nonsense, okay? I remember we all know how Pacquiao looked leading up to the fight. He looked great. He looked ready to me, in my opinion. He looked healthy in the ring. I thought he was losing. He didn't look good because he was getting outboxed, but he looked healthy in the ring. He didn't look like he had an injured right shoulder, okay, because he was throwing punches. He looked fine to me. He just lost because he got outboxed in a way that many of us predicted him to lose by. We knew his volume was going to be cut in half because of the type of fighter that he was fighting. It's happened before, not as low as this, but he's never fought Floyd Mayweather before. So he lost the fight because he got outboxed. All this stuff about the injuries, you could throw that out of the window. I mean, even if he's had some type of tear, he still chose to come in the ring and fight. Fighters get injured all the time. Sergio Martinez fought Cotto. He had an injury. He didn't blame it on the injury, okay? Some people say Cotto won the fight only because Sergio Martinez was injured. I don't like to say things like that because you're not giving the fighters the proper credit they deserve. And he still agreed to come into the ring that night at the end of the day, okay? Maybe Cotto would have beaten a healthier Sergio Martinez, okay? So you got to give Cotto his credit. He won the fight. So speaking on Pacquiao's injuries, I'm not really gonna go there with it, because Pacquiao looked fine, and I think it's really messed up that they're going great lengths with it by saying things like Floyd knew and he was holding on to his right arm the whole time to hurt it more, and that's just too much. All right, so I'm not really digging the whole angle him and his team is coming with this injury. Now, let's talk about Floyd vacating the titles, okay? I'm happy that he's vacating the junior middleweight titles, okay? I've said that. I've wanted that more than a few times on here on my videos. I'm glad he's vacating the titles up in that division because that division is in a state of confusion right now. You have Floyd, who's been the WBC and WBA and the lineal junior middleweight champion since he fought Canelo, okay? It's been almost 2 years now. And he hasn't fought anyone at 154, and he doesn't plan to. But he's going to, he was defending the titles in his last 3 fights without actually fighting a junior middleweight, all right? So I'm glad that he's vacating the title because now we can finally see who's the best and who's a true champ at that division. You still got Canelo out there. You got Lara. You got the Charlo twins. You got Andre. You got Kirkland. You got all of these fighters. And you only got 2 guys up there that's holding titles. K9 just recently kind of won a title. Not recent now, but, it was somewhat recent. I don't know how long the fight ago. I think that was like 5-6 months ago. But you have Demetrius Andrade, who won the title, the WBO title, back in 2013. He won it while it was vacant, and he only defended it 1 time, and he doesn't even have a fight scheduled. So I'm glad that those titles are going to be up there because it's going to make the division be a little bit more interesting with all these undefeated fighters still in the division, and we can see what's going to happen next. All right, but as far as the welterweight division, I'm very disappointed because I was hoping that Floyd retired as the undisputed champ if he were to win the IBF title, whoever is holding it at the time or at the end of the year, whether it's going to be Kell Brook, who's the current champ, or whoever. I was hoping that that's the route that Floyd took. I thought that would have been a great way to go out. He can leave now and retire, but I thought it would have been better if he retired undisputed, okay? Just because the welterweight division is where he's had his most success in his career, fighting the biggest names that he's ever fought in the welterweight division or around that division. So I think that would have been great for him. All right, he's a natural welterweight. He walks around the weight. You know, he's just not one of these guys that lose all this weight and stuff. He's a natural welterweight at this point in his life. And that would have been a great way to go out, in my opinion, being the undisputed champ, because that's something he's never been. So, yeah. So, as far as, that's how I feel about that. If he does vacate the titles, what's going to happen? Why is he doing it? I don't know why he's doing it. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want to pay the sanction fees. Maybe he doesn't want to have any obligations to fight anyone. Maybe, I have no idea. I don't know. But if he does do it, is he doing it just to fight another welterweight? Is it going to be Amir Khan? Like, why give up your titles to fight Amir Khan? What is he going to do? Is he going to go up to 160 and fight a Miguel Cotto or Gennady Golovkin? I doubt the Golovkin fight happens. I think the Cotto fight is possible. Cotto's another pay-per-view draw, and they fought before. People liked the fight. Cotto looked good in his last couple of fights, so I think they could sell it. Plus, you get a middleweight title if you were to win and beat Cotto again, which I think he would if they were to fight. So that's a title that he doesn't have. But what I'm saying is, why not? If you're gonna do that, why not just keep the welterweight division, the junior middleweight division, and go for that title? If you're gonna do that, you can still do that, and be a guy that holds titles in three different divisions, including gaining that middleweight title that you never had. That'll be your sixth division having a title. So I don't know what the game plan is on why he would do it. But this is what I don't like too. For the same reasons that I said that I actually like the fact that he's vacating the titles at 154. I don't like it at 147 because it's going to make it the division have 4 champions all over again. You got 3 titles now. All you need is 1 more. You have 3, just like Kovalev has 3, just like Klitschko has 3. But now all these other guys is going to come around and fight for the title, a vacant title. You got to have 3, 4 champs again, Kell Brook will be the only champ. Danny Garcia might move up and get a title right first fight in welterweight. And haven't fought once at a welterweight, but it's happened. Adrian Broner could do the same thing again. You got guys coming up. You got guys that don't deserve title shots that might be a champion now. And I think that stinks, We'll go right back to stage 1 because the welterweight division is it's the most popular division in boxing today. That's facts. So I that's why I dislike the fact that he's vacating the titles. I really hope he considers not doing that. But I'm sure whatever the sanction and fees are, I'm sure he doesn't have a problem with paying that with the money. He just made $180 million. I don't see what the big deal is. All right, but maybe I don't know. Maybe there's something else going on that I don't know about. I can't wait to see what the game plan is. So what's next for Floyd? I said Cotto before. I said Khan. I don't know what's gonna happen with Khan and his religious Ramadan at the end of the year. I don't know if he's gonna be an option. Cotto, I don't know if he's gonna be an option. I don't know if he does beat Gil. If he does beat Gil, um, is Golovkin going to take the step aside money? Is Cotto going to relinquish his title? If he does, what's going to be what's the point of fighting Cotto again? We don't know, because we don't know the outcome to all of this stuff that's happening in the future, in the near future. So we don't know. But this Golovkin, and a lot of people want to see this fight. Golovkin is the only guy that I sit here and say that Floyd can't beat. You know, I want the Lara fight because I thought the Lara fight was his toughest challenge from 147 to 154 since he held titles there. But Golovkin is very unrealistic to me. I always thought it was very unrealistic for him to fight Golovkin. Now, I don't think it's that unrealistic if Golovkin were to move down to 152. Like, I think if the fight happens, he would have Golovkin come at a catch weight, and you know it just be crazy. You know, all I know is that he wouldn't fight a Golovkin 100%. And even on fight night, I wouldn't be surprised if they tell him that he can't come in above a certain amount. You know, he can't come in weighing over 160 on fight night. Like, he would seriously fight a very, very drained version of Golovkin. Okay, not whereas Canelo was able to still rehydrate back up to 165 on fight night. I think it would be a different story with Golovkin because you wouldn't want to fight him at his best, and I wouldn't respect it. You know, I mean, even if he were to still win, a lot of me and a lot of the fans just wouldn't respect that. I mean, catch weights are one thing, but doing it to that extreme would be crazy. But that's the only way I would see that fight playing out. Like, I really wouldn't think, I wouldn't expect Cotto to fight Golovkin at 160. You know, if he wanted to challenge himself, yes, that would be the ultimate way to challenge himself. But I doubt it happens. That's just my opinion. You know, if it happens, good luck, because I don't think Floyd could beat Golovkin. Floyd's obviously the better boxer, but Golovkin is walking down middleweights that's landing against him, and he's walking right through them. Still, you know, it's guys like Curtis Stevens who has the know for having a power and a good left hook, and Golovkin was walking right through him. You know, even when Stevens was landing, there's nothing Floyd can do that can keep Golovkin off him for 12 rounds. He's so good at cutting off the ring. And Floyd's power, even though he's great at timing and counterpunching, and I believe he hits harder than most people give credit for him, Golovkin has just been fighting bigger guys. And he's just gonna eventually catch Floyd at some point. Floyd will have to fight a perfect fight. You know, he can't take a shot like the Pacquiao shot in the 4th round or whatever round that was, or the Maidana shot. You know, he can't take a big shot not one from Golovkin. It'll be a straight knockout. So anyway, that's my thoughts on everything. You know, that's happening. You know, I didn't want to. I was gonna make a video about Manny Pacquiao and his injuries, and talk about everything with that. But why shed the light on that? It's nonsense. I hope Floyd doesn't vacate the titles. I mean, if he does, I hope he vacates the 154 ones. But I doubt he's gonna pick and choose. I'm sure if he's gonna vacate, he's gonna vacate all of them. And then you're gonna have a bunch of guys running around getting title shots at 147. And that's that. I hope the opponent. Oh, one last thing. I hope it's not Danny Garcia. There's a chance it might be Danny Swift Garcia. I hope it's not Danny Garcia. I do not want to see that fight. But you know, Floyd could do what he wants at this point. You know, Floyd could do whatever he wants, fight whoever he wants at this point in his career. He's fought the man that you all wanted to fight, wanted to see him fight for 5 years. Just can't say nothing about him anymore, you know. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about mainly the title situation. Not too much of the injuries and stuff like that, because no one knows what's really happening with that. We don't know if he's really injured or not. But more, I would like to hear what you guys think about the titles. Why do you think Floyd is relinquishing them? Okay, is there some kind of agenda behind it? Do you think so? If so, let me know. I would like to hear you guys comment on that. What do you think about possible Golovkin fight? Okay, stuff like that. And I just want to say one thing. You guys stop being sore losers. I see what people are doing out there. They're sitting here bringing up other ways to try to discredit Floyd's record. All right. I've never seen people post so many 49 and 0 or 89 and 0 Julio Cesar Chavez record posts on social media. I've never seen people I've saw some of these people that post these, never seen Chavez senior fight ever. You know, and they're sitting here talking about Floyd's record don't mean nothing. Chavez fought way more people than him. You know, go to the box record and look who Chavez fought. If Chavez fought a guy, if Floyd Mayweather fought a guy that was 10-10, his next fight, we would never hear the end of it. All right, but Chavez was taking those fights after having 80 wins with no losses. He was taking those type of fights still. I'm not trying to take nothing away from Chavez Sr. because he's one of the greatest. But let's be real. If Floyd was to do what Chavez was doing in his career, you guys would never, we would never hear the end of it about Floyd Mayweather. Okay? So let's cut that out. Like, just give the guy his props. He won the fight. You don't have to like him. But don't sit here and now you're comparing Hearns and Hagler's fight to this fight. Why are you comparing that fight? That's two different times. That's two different fights. Like, why compare those two? Why compare Chavez Sr. record to Floyd's now? You know why? Because you guys got nothing else to say at this point. He fought the guy, that one guy that you all wanted him to fight. And since he won, well, let's go back to the next thing. Well, since there's nobody else to compare him to, let's go back to comparing him to the greats. Like the great fights, the other great fights that were much more entertaining. Okay? So I just wanted to put that out there too. So anyway, let me hear from you guys and make sure you hit subscribe.